Hi there. It's November 18th and time for Proverbs 18. Let's jump over there and we'll just get into it. Verse 1, for an object of desire he who is separated doth seek. With all wisdom he intermeddleth, or getting into business is not your own, right? Now this verse is different in every single translation I looked up says it differently, okay? A Holman Christian Standard says, one who isolates himself pursues selfish desires. He rebels against all sound judgments. Okay? And the other ones basically say the same thing. Okay? The only one that says that a little different is the 1599 Geneva Bible, who says you're isolating yourself to study, which is kind of a good thing, and all the other ones paint it as a bad thing, right? You shouldn't be isolated too long anyway, so it's probably not good for you. 2, a fool delighteth not in understanding, but in uncovering his heart. Only wants to show off his opinions. Uncovering his heart, showing off your opinions, okay? I guess that makes sense, huh? 3, with the coming of the wicked come also hath contempt, and with shame reproach. This language, when a wicked man comes, contempt also comes, and along with dishonor, disgrace, shame, reproach, right? Wicked people. They're still out there, aren't they? 4, deep waters are the words of a man's mouth. The fountain of wisdom is a flowing brook. And now that's kind of a important one, right? The words of a man's mouth are deep waters, a flowing river, a fountain of wisdom. Okay? And now let's look over here real quick in the Geneva Bible, because the Geneva Bible has the most incredible margin notes that they included in the printing. Okay? Words of a man are like deep waters, which can never be drawn empty, but bring ever profit. Right? Deep waters. Right? Can never empty it out, and you always get knowledge from it. Right? Cool, huh? Cool. Fountain of wisdom is a flowing brook. Doesn't end. 5, acceptance of the face of the wicked is not good, to turn aside the righteous in judgment. It's not good to show partiality to the guilty by perverting the justice due the innocent. Right? To turn aside the righteous in judgment. Yeah. Does that say the same thing? It does, but acceptance of the face of the wicked is not good. Right? Show partiality to the guilty. 6, the lips of a fool enter into strife, and his mouth for stripes calleth. All right. A fool's lips lead to strife, and his mouth provokes a beating. If you keep talking, somebody's going to punch you, okay? It's best to keep your mouth shut. All right? Fools keep talking until somebody punches them. All right? That's the way it goes. Yeah. Can't see out of this. Okay, 7, the mouth of a fool is ruin to him, and his lips are the snare of his soul. More about not being able to keep your mouth shut, right? A fool's mouth is his devastation, and his lips are a trap for his life. Right? Snare of his soul. Smart people know when to keep their mouth shut. Yeah. 8, the words of talebearer, gossip, are self-inflicted wounds, and they have gone down to the inner parts of the heart. Now, this is very important, okay? Gossip's words are like choice food that goes down to one's innermost beings. This is more about gossip. We know how I feel about gossip. God finds it detestable and an abomination, right? And it says here, the words of a gossip are as self-inflicted wounds, and they have gone down to the inner parts of the heart. Gossip is addictive, okay? So addictive that it is a $1 trillion industry in social media, on television, in the news, in papers, everywhere you look. It's gossip telling you somebody else's business that is no business of your own. And when you spread that business to somebody else, you are gossiping. You are a talebearer, okay? All of the reality TV and the drama, it's all about gossip. Okay? Gossip. 9. He also that is remiss in his work, a brother he is to a destroyer. One who's lazy in his work is brother to a vandal. Right? Remiss in his work, lazy. Okay? Might as well be destroying things. Get that? 10. A tower of strength is the name of Jehovah. Into it the righteous runneth and is set on high. All right. The name of Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and are protected. That's a good saying. Okay, that's just put that on your wall. Be a good saying to frame. 11. The wealth of the rich is the city of his strength, and as a wall set on high in his own imagination. That in his imagination. Right. A rich man's wealth is his fortified city in his imagination. It's like a high wall. They think their money will protect them, okay? The rich, that money only makes you a target, okay? You are a target. It's all in your mind. Told, before destruction the heart of man is high, and before honor is humility. Okay? That's very important. Before honor comes humbleness, humility, right? Before destruction, the heart of man is high. Right? Before a man's downfall, his heart is proud. Pride goeth before a fall. I heard that yesterday. Right? Humility comes before honor. Right? If you want to be honored, be humble. You are honored when somebody else builds you up, not when you do it yourself. When you do it yourself, that's pride, conceit, haughtiness, an abomination. Okay? 13. Whoso is answering a matter before he heareth, folly it is to him and shame. Goes along with chapter 15 and the arguing part, right? The one who gives an answer before he listens, this is foolishness and a disgrace for him. And how many people, when you're trying to tell him something, they cut you off mid-sentence, right? And start arguing with you before even hearing what you're going to say. Happens all the time. All the time. You know, happens with husband and wife. It happens with friends. It happens with people don't listen, okay? People don't listen, you know? We talked about James a couple days ago. It says, be quick to listen and slow to speak, okay? You should not be answering a person before you listen to their complete sentence. You should not be forming the answer in your head while you're listening to them. You should be concentrating on what they're saying, listening to them, and after they're completely finished, then you process it, then you formulate your answer, then you say something. Okay? Otherwise, it is to your own foolishness and shame. Okay? Happens all the time. 14. The man of a spirit sustaineth his sickness, and a smitten spirit who doth bear. Yeah, we've been talking about this too. The human spirit, when it's broken, is very hard to fix, sometimes impossible. Okay? Okay, your spirit can endure a sickness, a cold, flu, right? But a broken spirit is almost impossible to survive. Okay, many of these homeless people out there that have lost all hope, right, is because of a broken spirit. A human spirit is broken. Not impossible. God can do anything, but it's very hard to fix. Important stuff. 15, the heart of the intelligent getteth knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh knowledge. That's a basic statement, huh? All right. Heart of the intelligent getteth knowledge. That's what we're doing here. We are getting knowledge. All right. 16, the gift of a man maketh room for him, and before the great it leadeth him. All right. The gift opens doors for a man and brings him before the great. Right? If you get a gift for somebody, it usually moves you to the front of the line, right? He has a gift for you. 17, righteous is the first in his own cause. His neighbor cometh and hath searched him. Wow. First to state his case seems right until another comes and cross-examines him. That's like in this 1898 Young's literal translation, that righteousness is the first in his own cause. His neighbor cometh and hath searched him. Wow. Now I've read this in every other version, and it says cross-examines, right? The first to state his case seems right until another comes and cross-examines him, right? Well, in a court setting, the accuser goes first, and the defendant always gets to come last, right? And the accuser always seems right to the jury until the other person speaks, okay? My client was on the other side of the country when this happened. I have pictures and recordings and proof, okay? He couldn't have been there. And then suddenly, the accuser isn't right anymore. Seems right until the defense speaks up. Right. 18, the lot causeth contentions to cease, and between the mighty it separateth. They used to cast lots. Now we flip a coin, same thing. They consider it fate or God's decision where the coin lands. And mighty, huge football teams, right, will honor the choice of a little coin or lots when they're cast. Interesting, huh? 19, a brother transgressed against is as a strong city, and contentions as the bar of a palace. Right. An offended brother is harder to reach than a fortified city, and quarrels are like the bars of a fortress. If you offend your brother, if you do something stupid, you say something stupid to belittle him publicly, gossip about him, right? You're not going to be able to reach him, okay? You won't, okay? You offended him. Think about that. 20, from the fruit of a man's mouth is his belly satisfied. From the increase of his lips he is satisfied, right? Right. What you say will come back to you. If you say kind things, edifying things, uplifting things, that will come back to you, and you will be satisfied, all right? It's filled with the product of his lips. Remember that. Whatever you say comes back at you. You say kind things, you'll be full of kindness. You say evil things, it'll make you sick. Why? Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those loving it eat its fruit. Okay? We're going to make that yellow. Okay? Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Words are the most powerful things on earth. Okay? You need to remember that. Everybody can use that weapon for good or for evil. Okay? Death and life are in the power of the tongue. The things you say matter. All right? Even the slightest derogatory offhand comment could be an acid that eats at somebody for the rest of their life. Okay? That's why it's very important to say only kind things. Bear good fruit. Right? 22. Whoso hath found a wife hath found good, and bringeth out good will from Jehovah. Now this is important, okay? I used to think it wasn't until I heard somebody talking about it. Right? A man who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Okay? It doesn't say a man who finds a girlfriend does a good thing. A man who finds a lover does a good thing. A man who finds a friend found a good thing. It says wife. Okay? Ladies, you need to be wife material, not girlfriend material, not lover material, wife material. Okay? If you want to get a husband, you have to be a wife. Okay? Men are looking for wives. Okay? A good man is looking for a wife. One that will complete him. One that will be able to do everything that he can't do. Right? That's what helpers and wives are. Okay? They complete you. They turn you into a single unit that can do anything. Okay? Well, a man who finds a wife finds a good thing, right? And obtains favor from the Lord. Remember that. 23. With supplications doth the poor speak, and the rich answereth fierce things. Wow. Let's read that over here in the Holman Christian Standard. The poor man pleads, but the rich one answers roughly. Right? Rich don't care about the poor. Yeah. And they should. God says they should. Right? And a rich man asked Jesus, how can I please you? What more can I do? Jesus said, sell everything you have and give it to the poor and follow me. Could he do it? No, he couldn't. Jesus loved him anyway. And he was just testing him. You can't do this. He knew he couldn't do it. Right? 24. A man with friends is to show himself friendly. Wow. And there is a low adhering more than a brother. A lover adhering more than... Wow. That is some old English text right there, huh? Let's read it over here. A man with many friends may be harmed, but there is a friend who stays closer than a brother. A man with friends is to show himself friendly, and there is a lover adhering more than a brother. A man with many friends may be harmed. Wait, get out. Let's see what this is. The message just says, friends must be friendly. Read, friends must be friendly. Interesting, huh? There is a friend who stays closer than brother. I mean, we all have that one friend, right? Most of us. This there. They contain rich and poor. Okay. This says lover. A man with friends is to show himself friendly. May be harmed, or friends must be friendly. Interesting. Let's go over here and look this up in another version. Let's go to the... I'll find it. The 1995 New American Standard. Okay. A man of too many friends comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. A man of too many friends comes to ruin. All right. So, here you go. That's Proverbs 18. Interesting, huh? Let's go over the highlights here. I believe our New American Standard. The 1995 version, you don't want to read a New American Standard that was printed in this century because they changed it, okay? They changed it. It was bought by another publisher who changed all the words. They went woke. They took all all the male, female out, and they ruined the whole thing. So, old Bibles, okay? If you see, if you want to start collecting Bibles, like garage sales, you can find them at thrift stores, old Bibles that were printed in the last century, okay? Before all this wokeism and, you know, other stuff that have taken place to try and make sins every place common and acceptable, okay? Because they did that to the Bible. All the new versions, with most of them printed in this century, with very few exceptions, like the Christian Standard Bible and the Holman Christian. It's a very few that are honest, okay? They have tried to sugarcoat things, and that's not the way it should be. So, yeah, collect the old Bibles. And that's why I read old Bibles. So, anyways, well, we highlighted, okay. Deep waters are the words of a man's mouth. The fountain of wisdom is a flowing brook, right? Deep waters means you can reach down and it never runs dry, okay? There's always knowledge there, okay? It's like the fountain of wisdom is a flowing brook. The water, it never stops. You never stop learning. Okay. Highlighted 6. The lips of a fool enter into strife, and his mouth for stripes calleth. Right? Fools never shut up until somebody punches them. Okay? That's what it says. A fool's mouth is his ruin, and a lips are a snare for his soul. Right. Highlighted 8. The words of a gossip are a self-inflicted wounds, and they have gone down into the inner parts of the heart. Right? Gossip is addictive like a drug. Okay? Need to get away from it. That means turning off your television, not listening to the news. When a friend says, "Did you hear what so-and-so did?" Stop them. Say, "No, and I don't want to." Okay? All this reality TV and much of social media is nothing but gossip. Okay? Gets down into your heart and your soul, and pretty soon that's all you care about is the gossip. It's very dangerous stuff. Okay? And just a good saying, a tower of strength is the name of Jehovah, and into it the righteous runneth and is set on high, right? So running and safe. You can always run to God and be safe. Mm-hmm. Okay, 12, we highlighted before. Destruction, the heart of man is high, and before honor is humility. Right? A man's heart leads to destruction. It says haughty over here in the New American Standard. All right. If you're proud, if you're pride and arrogant, it's going to lead. You're going to put yourself on a pedestal and you're going to get knocked off, right? If you want to be honored, you must be humble, okay? Before honor is humility, right? Humbleness leads to honor, right? It's not thinking you're all that, knowing you're not, is humbleness, right? 13, whoso is answering a matter before he heareth folly, it is to him and shame, right? He who gives an answer before he hears it is folly and shame to him. It's a New American Standard, right? If you cut somebody off, right, before they even finish speaking, it happens all the time. It happens in court when you're not allowed to do that. It happens in Congress. It happens between friends. It happens between husband and wife, okay? You have been offended and you want to, and they're trying to tell you something, you're cutting them off and say, "Shut up, that's not right," when you didn't even let them finish speaking, okay? You were supposed to not be thinking of an answer until you have heard their complete thing. I mean, sometimes I think texting works better than arguing in right? Because you have to wait and not form an answer until the person has made their complete statement, right? And then they put it on your screen, and you have to read the complete statement before you answer, okay? I mean, cutting it off in the middle and say, I'm not going to read that whole thing. People don't do that. Okay? It needs to be like that. You need to wait and listen to completely what they say and then form your answer afterwards, right? Or folly it is to him and shame, right? Folly and shame. Disgraced. Okay? Highlighted 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those loving it eat its fruit. Right? Death and life. Right? You can say something that will kill somebody, or you could say something that will save somebody. Okay? That's why I keep saying, say only kind, edifying, uplifting things. If that's all you say, you will eat that fruit. Okay? You will be filled with that and not with evilness. And we talked about 22, about a wife. Whoso hath found a wife hath found good, and bringeth out goodwill from Jehovah. Right? He who finds a wife, not a girlfriend, not a lover, a wife. Okay? A wife doesn't care. Right? She cares about your heart, your soul, cares about the inner you, doesn't care about your height, how tall you are, your muscles, right? What kind of car you drive. She cares about being a wife and helping and being nurtured and nurturing herself. Okay? Be a wife, not a girlfriend. Got it? So, there you go. That's Proverbs 18. Until later, we're still in the book of Acts and are through the Bible in a year. And we'll be for a couple days yet. So then we'll start on the epistles, I imagine. But I think Saul is just about to become Paul, okay? After doing some horrible, horrible things. Jesus is going to knock him off his horse. So let's read about that later on today, this afternoon. But until then, give us a like if you think about it. And we'll do this again tomorrow. See ya.